The atmosphere surrounding the All Blacks has shifted dramatically over the past few weeks, and that growing sense of anticipation has only intensified as Dave Rennie and his squad arrived in Cape Town for what promises to be one of the most demanding rugby tours of the year. Every visit to South Africa carries its own unique pressure, history, and expectation, but this tour feels different. It is not simply another international series or another opportunity to measure progress. Instead, it represents the next major step in the evolution of a rebuilding New Zealand side that has shown encouraging signs without pretending to have reached its destination. Speaking to reporters shortly after arriving at Dichel Stadium, Dave Rennie made it clear that confidence within the squad is growing, yet nobody inside the camp is underestimating the enormous challenge waiting ahead. His comments reflected a coach who understands both the strengths of his own team and the extraordinary standards established by Rassie Erasmus and the reigning world champions. Fresh from an impressive victory over Ireland, the All Blacks could easily have allowed excitement to turn into overconfidence. Instead, the message from Dave Rennie was one of patience and perspective. The 40-21 win demonstrated flashes of the attacking rugby that New Zealand supporters have long associated with their national team, but it also reminded observers that this is still a relatively new group learning how to perform consistently at the highest level. New combinations are still developing. Young players are adjusting to international rugby. Members of the coaching staff are continuing to build relationships and establish systems that can withstand the pressure of elite competition. For Rennie, those realities are just as important as the positive scoreline recorded against Ireland. Progress is measured not only by victories but also by how quickly a squad develops resilience, discipline, and adaptability when confronted with different styles of rugby. That mindset will be tested immediately in South Africa. Unlike a traditional test series where the focus rests solely on international matches, this tour offers a sequence of unique challenges against provincial opposition before the headline clashes with the Springboks. Beginning with the Stormers, followed by a fixture against the Lions, every match carries significance. These provincial teams are packed with experienced professionals who understand South African rugby better than anyone. They know the stadiums, the conditions, and the physical style that has become synonymous with rugby in the country. For many players, facing the All Blacks is an opportunity to prove they belong on an even bigger stage. That motivation alone ensures New Zealand cannot afford to treat any fixture as merely a warm-up. When discussing the opposition, Dave Rennie was generous in his praise for Rassie Erasmus, acknowledging the remarkable work that has transformed South Africa into one of the strongest rugby nations in the modern era. Building a successful international team requires much more than selecting talented players. It demands the creation of a system that continually develops depth, maintains standards, and allows new faces to perform confidently whenever opportunities arise. According to Rennie, that is exactly what Erasmus has achieved. The ability to rotate dozens of players throughout different competitions while maintaining winning performances is something few national teams have managed consistently. It is a reflection of careful planning, outstanding coaching, and an environment where every player understands the expectations placed upon them. One of the statistics highlighted during the media discussion perfectly illustrates this point. South Africa has used an extraordinary number of players over recent seasons without experiencing a noticeable decline in performance. Even when several established stars are rested, the replacement steps seamlessly into the system. Against Scotland, significant changes were made to the lineup, yet the Springboks still produced a convincing performance against quality opposition. For Dave Rennie, that depth is perhaps the greatest compliment that can be paid to Rassie Erasmus. It demonstrates that success has become part of the team's identity rather than something dependent upon a handful of individuals. Every new player arrives knowing exactly what is required, and the structure surrounding them allows their strengths to flourish. The All Blacks know from experience that facing South Africa is never simply about matching physicality. The contest extends far beyond collisions at the breakdown or dominance in the set piece. Modern Springboks rugby combines immense forward power with tactical intelligence, disciplined defense, and increasingly dangerous attacking options. While the physical challenge remains enormous, opponents also need to solve strategic puzzles throughout the 80 minutes. Every kick, every defensive line speed adjustment, and every substitution has the potential to shift momentum. That complexity explains why so many international coaches speak with genuine respect whenever discussing the South African setup. For Dave Rennie, the upcoming fixtures provide valuable opportunities to continue shaping the identity of his own squad. Every training session, every review meeting, and every minute played against high-quality opposition contributes to the team's long-term development. Rather than expecting immediate perfection, the coaching staff appears focused on building sustainable improvement. Young players are encouraged to learn from mistakes while experienced leaders provide stability during difficult moments. That balance between development and competitiveness is often the hallmark of successful international teams. Winning remains the objective, but creating an environment capable of delivering success for years to come is equally important. The first assignment against the Stormers will offer an immediate indication of how far the All Blacks have progressed. The Cape Town franchise has earned widespread respect through consistently competitive performances in the United Rugby Championship. Their ability to combine physical forward play with creative attacking rugby makes them dangerous opponents regardless of the occasion. Playing in front of passionate home supporters at DHL Stadium only adds another layer of intensity. South African crowds have long been recognized for creating unforgettable atmospheres, and the excitement surrounding the arrival of New Zealand guarantees an occasion worthy of rugby's rich traditions. Reflecting on the Stormers, Dave Rennie acknowledged their impressive campaign and their reputation for playing entertaining rugby built upon powerful forwards and dynamic backs. His comments suggested careful preparation rather than casual confidence. Coaches understand that underestimating provincial opposition can quickly lead to disappointing performances. Every member of the All Black squad will therefore approach the opening match with complete professionalism, recognizing that momentum established early in the tour could influence everything that follows. A strong performance would reinforce confidence, while any lapses could provide valuable lessons before the test matches begin. Another fascinating aspect of this tour is its unique structure. Unlike tournaments where teams face a variety of opponents, New Zealand will repeatedly encounter South African rugby throughout several weeks. That creates an environment where each review session naturally becomes preparation for the next encounter. Tactical adjustments become increasingly important because both coaching staffs gather new information after every match. Patterns that succeed in one game may require modification only days later. Dave Rennie described this process as entirely different from the experience of coaching during a Rugby World Cup. Instead of constantly adapting to different nations, the emphasis becomes continuous evolution against opponents who are also learning about your strengths and weaknesses. This constant tactical battle extends well beyond the players. Analysts spend countless hours examining video footage, identifying subtle patterns, and searching for opportunities that may have gone unnoticed during live action. Coaches debate selection decisions, workload management, and strategic adjustments based upon fresh evidence gathered from previous matches. Even seemingly minor improvements in discipline, kicking accuracy, or defensive spacing can become decisive factors across a demanding tour. It is a challenge that excites coaching groups because success depends upon preparation as much as talent. Within the All Blacks camp, optimism appears grounded in realism. Nobody is claiming that recent victories automatically guarantee future success. Instead, players and coaches consistently speak about improvement, learning, and embracing difficult challenges. That attitude has often defined New Zealand rugby during its greatest eras. Confidence is important, but humility ensures that standards remain high regardless of previous results. Every opponent deserves respect, particularly when traveling to a nation with South Africa's remarkable rugby history and passionate supporter base. As anticipation builds, supporters from both countries recognize the significance of the weeks ahead. For New Zealand, this tour represents another opportunity to accelerate the development of a promising squad under Dave Rennie. For South Africa, it offers a chance to demonstrate once again why Rassie Erasmus has built one of the deepest and most admired international rugby programs in the world. The stage is perfectly set for compelling contests filled with tactical intrigue, physical intensity, and unforgettable moments. While predictions will continue throughout the rugby community, the only certainty is that both teams understand exactly what is at stake, and neither side will take a single minute of this historic rivalry for granted.